Hello and welcome to today's video on Backlog Deep Dive. Today I will be joining you as my little PNG tuber model that I used to use for my Twitch streams. So today's video will be all about the games that I played over the year, and I will just be kind of ranking them in a fun little video to wrap up 2023. So I do have them in kind of a chronological order from how and when I played them through the year. So I will just be starting off and kind of going through them, giving little talks about them, and yeah, that'll be it. So the first one was Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, so I got this for Christmas of the previous year, and so I started it and played a majority of it through January of 2023. I enjoyed it, but it was kind of not what I was really liking out of Pokemon, so I would put it in the B category just because it was pretty glitchy. I did run into some issues with that, and the game just wasn't really that challenging. I did like the Pokemon designs. I thought that the Pokemon being in the overworld completely was really fun. I do think that they were doing a lot of good things with it, but the execution wasn't really where I wanted it to be, so that was a bit disappointing. The next one that I played was Splatoon 3. I really got into that probably February, maybe. But yeah, so I jumped into Splatoon 3 again towards the end of the year, but really got into it this year. So I tried out a bunch of the new weapons, and I got more comfortable with the different play styles. And so I really kind of got addicted to this game for a bit, and I really like it, and I would put it in the A tier. I think it's really fun. I can hop in, have fun. The main thing is the randos and everything. They kind of drive me nuts, but I am actually looking forward to the DLC. I'm looking forward to Side Order and kind of what that'll bring to the solo campaign. And so the next one is one that did come out this year. I only have 4 of them that came out this year, if you can't tell by the pictures. And that's Kirby's Dream Land Deluxe. And I think I have the wrong picture here, but we're going to ignore that. So I played a bunch of Kirby games on the DS and the Wii, and so I was really happy to hear about the Switch port of the game that I actually never played. So this was actually my first run through of the game, and it was actually a decently long game. I was actually expecting it to be a little shorter, so that was a happy surprise. And I just got to have a bunch of fun with Kirby. It's not a super challenging game, so I just kind of had a relaxing playthrough of it. And so that was really fun, and I would also put this up with Splatoon at A. Now the next one is Pikmin 3. So this was the first Pikmin game that I had ever played. I never had a GameCube, so I never played the first 2, and I got this because the Pikmin looked cute and I wanted to try it out. It's not really the type of game that I usually gravitate towards, so I was a bit nervous, but I actually had a lot of fun with it, and it was really a enjoyable experience. It wasn't too stressful. You have to collect juice to extend your amount of days you can be in the game, and I never really felt like I was struggling to get more fruit for that, so it was a very enjoyable time. I do really like it. And this is also going in A, and I would actually probably put this above Kirby if we're doing in order. And so the next one is Honkai Star Rail. So this is the latest game from Hoyoverse up until ZZZ comes out, which is in beta, so I'm not even counting it yet. I really like the direction that Honkai Impact 3rd went with their direction, and so I was really happy to see Honkai Star Rail kind of leaning towards that instead of the Genshin Impact route. And this game, it was really fun, really easy, and it's actually a really good game for a gacha game. And I kind of have fallen off of it since, but I still have a lot of friends who are really enjoying it and say that the game is still just a really good game to play, and so I guess we're gonna put that in A, because it was actually really fun. I thought the story was good, the combat was good, the characters had good designs. There wasn't really anything wrong with it, I just kind of fell off of it. Next one is Phasmophobia. This is a game to where you and up to 3 friends go exploring different houses, estates, a school, and you go look for clues and figure out what type of spirit is haunting that area. And it's kind of like a rinse and repeat. There's only a certain amount of ghosts. There is a lot. I will give it that there's a lot. There's a bunch of different places you can explore, but I just couldn't get into it. It's a fun game. I can see why people love it. My friend is obsessed. She's put like over 100 hours into it. She's like level 300. But it's just not personally for me. So it does go into C. It's our first C tier. The next one is another one that came out this year, and that is the sequel to what is known as the best game on Switch, and that is Tears of the Kingdom. So I don't think I have much to say about this game. It's one of the best games I've played, hands down. The game shoved so much to do into the open world, which was already really big to begin with. And they even doubled it by adding the underground. They added some with the sky land. And the new mechanics are just like really amazing in the sandbox game that Zelda is. And it's really fun. I do need to go and finish it. I just kind of hit a wall to where I kind of felt like I was playing Breath of the Wild again, but I still very much respect the game because it is a very amazing game. It did do a bunch of new stuff. And it does get S from me, like hands down. But it was probably not my favorite game I played this year, but it is one of the best, if you can understand where I'm coming from that. Okay, and the next one is Okami HD. So this it was recommended by my roommate so much. He kept saying, you're gonna love it, you're gonna love it. And I did enjoy it, but I actually didn't finish it. So this is a game that I enjoyed. I fought what I thought was the final boss, and it turns out I was only like halfway through the game. I was kind of done with it, so I just decided, for the sake of my sanity and for the sake of keeping the game in good thoughts in my head, I decided to just call it there, and it does end up in B tier. I'm gonna put this with Pokemon. It just wasn't really for me in the way that I think my roommate thought it would be. It's really fun though. I would recommend getting it if you enjoy kind of hack and slash, story-driven games with some puzzles in there. It is a really good game, but just not really my cup of tea. And the next is Little Nightmares. So I snagged Little Nightmares 1 and 2 on one of the Steam sales, and I played Little Nightmares 1 in October because I wanted to play some spooky games, and this turned out to be the only one that actually fit in there. So this, if you don't know, you're just a little tiny person in the yellow raincoat, and you go through these puzzles. You can only run, you can't attack, you have a little flashlight for things, but you're trying to escape someplace that you don't really know until the end. And it's really fun. I really enjoyed it. I would put this in A. Yeah, that seems about right. A little below Pikmin, but above Kirby. Yeah, I like it there. This game, I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I thought. I actually had the whole base game with all the DLC, and I played through all of it in about 2 days. I did the base game in one night and then finished up the DLC packs the next afternoon, and it was a fun game. And I need to go and play the second one, especially before the third one comes out, and I would recommend this to anyone who likes kind of creepy, unsettling games. And the next one, I'm gonna kind of combine them since they were in like a little double pack, and that's Pikmin 1 and 2 ported over to Switch. These do get different grades though. So Pikmin 1, you have like your basic 3 Pikmin, you go through and you do your puzzles and everything, you collect treasure, and you're trying to collect all your ship parts within, I believe it's 30 days, or else you actually die. Olimar ends up dying and the Pikmin harvest him. So a bit higher stakes in that compared to Pikmin 2, to where you're just returning to the planet infested with Pikmin, and you're trying to get collectible little treasures to pay off a debt that your boss's company now owes. But they run about the same. They're both having similar puzzles, but the reason that I put Pikmin 2 higher is because it adds more types of Pikmin. It adds the white Pikmin and the purple Pikmin, and it introduces caves, and I really enjoy the caves in the game. I think that they add a lot. Those were really challenging sections for me, and those were probably the most fun that I had in the game. So Pikmin 1, it's still a really good game. I'm going to put it probably here. Honestly, you know what? Honestly, I had more fun with Pikmin than both of those games. I was gonna go there. And I would put Pikmin 2 in A. You know what? Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Yeah, I'm fine with that there. And so we're gonna wrap up with 2 that were actually released this year. And so that is Super Mario Wonder and Dave the Diver. And they both are just great games. I recently played them this past month this is November. It's still November when I'm recording this. So Super Mario Wonder, everyone's heard of this game. It's the refresh to the Mario 2D platformer genre that Nintendo has. And I think it's a great refresher. I love that it's more poppy in color, the characters look more cartoony, they just experiment so much, all the new characters, the new enemies in the game, the Wonder Flower sections, they're so fun, and they add just a little bit more to the collectible side. I just think it's overall a great game. I love it. And it does get an S from me because it was so fun. I love platformers. I grew up on platformers, so I feel like I'm always a little bit biased towards a good platformer game, but I just loved it. I thought it was great. And then to wrap up, a little indie game that I actually wasn't sure if I'd like, but I picked it up on a whim because I think it was on like a little bit of a sale, and it was nominated for a bunch of awards this year, and so I'm just like, this game has to be good. I'm gonna give it a shot. And that's Dave the Diver, and I am slowly becoming addicted to it. This game is so good. I actually play this with Amy. If you don't watch the podcast on this channel, she's the co-host on the Nerd House podcast, and so we actually played it at the same time. We were streaming it on Discord to each other, and we just both fell in love with this game. It's so fun. You get to kind of play 2 roles. You get to become the diver that goes out and gets the fresh fish for your sushi restaurant that you go and help serve at in the evening, and you get to do all these things. I don't want to give too much away because it's so fun to go each day and get your little level ups and kind of see what you unlock. But it's so fun. It's never feeling like you're in this like same loop of gameplay. It's so much fun. I didn't expect to have this much fun with this game, but I loved it. And actually, this might also just be recency bias, but I love this game so much, and I feel like it is probably one of my top games that I've played this year. This cute little pixel indie game, and I have put more hours into it than I think Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom at this point, and I'm coming up probably close to how much hours I put in Breath of the Wild actually. But yeah, so this is basically my listing for all 13 games that I played in the year 2023, with only like 4 of them, I think, being released in the year 2023. So this was fun. It kind of made me look at how many games that I played, how many games that I actually liked. I only didn't finish one of these games, and so that's pretty good for me because I have issues with actually finishing games. Of course, stuff like Dave the Diver and Zelda, I'm still playing through. But yeah, so I really enjoyed doing this. It was just a fun little thing. Let me know in the comments down below what were your favorite games that you played in this year, no matter if they came out this year or not. Do you disagree with any of my listings? You probably do, because I have a bit of a weird taste in video games, as I've been told by many of my friends. So yeah, just kind of leave that down in the comments below, and I hope maybe you will pick up a game that you might not have tried before. So thank you for everyone who watched. If you like it, subscribe below. We do have a bunch of game-related stuff on the channel. Feel free to browse, and have a good day.